What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are not on a Super Duty. We're going to be working on an F-150. If you guys have been following the channel, we had an F-150 trimmer that we put a tune on from SCT, but now we're back with some bank stuff and the newly 3D printed pod that goes over your A-pillar. If you guys want to find out how to install this on your new Super Duty or F-150, follow along and check this out. All right, let's go. All right, everybody, thanks for coming back and checking this out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Big shout out to Banks for coming through. We got the pedal monster and the iDash. Not only can you control the pedal monster through your iDash, but if you didn't want to get the iDash, you could also use your smartphone to control that. So with that being said, we're going to get into installation on how to put this on your 21 through current model F-150, or if you have the new 23 Super Duty. You guys all know the A-pillar is completely different than what it used to be. Well, now we have the new kit from Banks that has been 3D printed to incorporate that new grab handle. So you guys saw the Super Duty one we did the last on the 22 with the giant wheels we did in Georgia. We're going to try to maneuver this into the truck and get under the dash and do what we have to do. Some of the tools you're going to need, I've already went and popped this off because I didn't have the tool that I was going to need, but right here you guys can check out, there's a little divot right here. You need to get a pick of some sort in there so that you can pull this trim off. It pulls right off as soon as you get it popped down here at the bottom. You literally just work it right off, and then when you get it off, there is a rubber tether that goes right through this hole. It literally just pulls right away. So no big deal. Let's get some toolios and get some of the fasteners removed from the A-pillar. All right, so now once you get that panel off from the A-pillar, like I was showing you guys, no big deal. You have two 10 mils bolts. Luckily, these ones didn't have any Loctite. So once you pull those out, save one of them because you're going to be only using one of them. But get the A-pillar and you're going to do a little pulley pull. Some of the trim level trucks have a tweeter down here that you're going to have to disconnect. Okay. Tweeter, panel. We are going to have to modify this slightly because once we get this out of the vehicle, you'll understand why. And see that this has to go through right about here for the bolt, which Banks gives us a new one, but also this cavity here we're going to need to have just slightly big enough so that not only this boss goes through, but we can feed the wire through, which is going to come right past this webbing. We're going to make a little modification there so that our wire can come up and go whoop, and right through there. So hang on to these because we're going to need to modify that outside of the truck. One thing I did want to tell you guys, if you did not want to get the 3D printed gauge pod, they also have the suction cup version, which also works. This is what I had in the very beginning, but I mean, who doesn't want something that contours the factory pillar like this? So just options. Let's unpackage the best bang for your buck, the pedal monster. You guys are going to be getting a hold of me and saying, oh my god, you were right, I'm giggling like a little bitch, because that's exactly what I was doing when I installed mine in my truck. And in the description I'll put a link to that video so you can see that I was not fibbing, because you are going to be totally amazed that this was your truck prior to putting this in. So pretty simple. We're going to go down to the accelerator pedal, and there is a connector that looks just like this. You're going to slide that red tab up, squeeze this button on the accelerator pedal. You're going to unhook it. You're going to hook that connector you just unplugged right into that, so that now the factory harness looks just like this. And then you're going to plug the new Banks electrical connector into your accelerator pedal, and off of that harness and pedal assembly is going to be the pedal monster. So what you're going to want to do once you get this hooked to your accelerator pedal, you know, route this wire so that it's not hanging above the brake pedal, and you're ultimately going to want this part over by this side of the dash right here, because we're going to have some wiring that's going to go all the way up and then come right out into the gauge. Last thing we're going to open up is the Banks iDash. This is not a tuner. This is just a monitoring device. You see, this dude in the picture is monitoring his EGT, all right, in the lovely mountains of Utah. Just kidding, I don't know. But this is another good bang for your buck. Not only can you monitor any data that is going to be coming from your OBD2 port, you can also pull codes with this. So if you get a check engine light on while you're driving, you can navigate through the menu functions and actually clear the DTCs or find out what the code is, and then get a hold of me, and then we can decipher a repair plan just from this. All right, so I really what I should show you before I get underneath the dash is, remember how I told you I want the pedal monster? Here's your accelerator pedal, and I want this over by the side of the dash. Well, if you guys notice, these two connections right here, we are going to be installing the OBD cable that came in the iDash kit into whatever side you want. Doesn't matter. 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, doesn't matter. Plug them in, whichever one. Now this is going to go up to the back of the iDash. So envision this running up to the pillar and this plugging into your iDash. Now, because we have the pedal monster and the iDash together, we're going to have this cable from the OBD running side by side right into the 4-pronger right in the back of the iDash. So now that enables us to control the pedal monster and everything in this big loop of wire. And the one thing I do want to point out too is, see how this is flat? Banks really thought of how to work the wiring, because this slides right into the crevices of the dash, right into sides of the weather stripping, and you don't have this big bulky wire where being under the dash doesn't matter. But when you're running between trim pieces and weather stripping, this is what you want to work with. So I'm going to start getting this stuff detached underneath the dash and get the pedal monster hooked up, and we're going to meet on the other side of the dash where you can see me hook up these wires right here that are going to go up to the iDash. Check that out. Slicker than snot on a doorknob right there. Ooh, bam, boom, shakalaka. All right, so now, since we are hooked up to the accelerator pedal, if you guys don't believe me, you can sort of see it right there. Take my word for it, it's hooked up. So now we're going to have two connections right here. We're going to have the iDash, or I should say the OBD port, going to be coming up from, what the heck is that? We're going to be filming the rest of the YouTube channel with the new camera that I have got from Montgomery Ward's. If you guys aren't familiar with Montgomery Ward's, back in the 1970s, 80s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and the late 90s, they closed that, and I picked up the last model 737, and I'm going to be coming in live right for you guys. Can you see my eyeball through that? Nah, I'm going to ditch this shit because you can't get underneath the dash. Jay, don't say nothing. All right, let me get the cables, and then we're going to be plugging in. Cabling. Carefully with the cabling. So remember, we have one with a 4 and one with a 6. We're going to take the 6 and we're going to plug the 6 into the 6 port on the pedal monster. There's only one 6 port on the iDash. You can plug this into either, or it doesn't matter. And then that's puppy's going to kind of sit just like this, and we're going to route these wires up accordingly. But before I go too far, I need to hook up the OBD cable and have that come up through here and hook into the back of the iDash, which is the final position about right here, said this position. What I did to both flat cables, since they're going to be running in the exact same spot, I just took some electrical tape and just sandwiched them together like every 6-7 inches until I got to the truck or the dash, and just double lapped any of the excess, and then gonna route this kind of like this. I mean, this is gonna look more organized, but yeah, it's gonna look, you know, something like that. Oh damn, that looks good. I have the wires just chilling right here, and then if I want more slack to come out of the hole, if I want to get more slack back in so I can push the gauge into its pod, it's just gonna go, you know, right forward here into the foam. So A-pillar gauge. I think it's time to do a little drilling. We're gonna start taking that webbing out right here. So I've never drilled into the new F-150 or Super Duty before, but you guys can pretty much gather that, you know, it's gonna be flush against the pillar, but on that plane, because the bolt has to go through. So see how the flat is here and the flat is here, like these are pretty much parallel through here. So once this gets drilled through, see how that flat's going to match up with that, but through this piece. So we need to envision that piece on here. So what I'm going to do is attach the bottom where we're going to drill, and I'm going to get a drill bit from the other side to kind of reference exactly where we're going to be drilling through the trim piece on the other side. So, I mean, it's just plastic, be careful. All right, so that's pretty much straight through. And now we'll be able to clean up that hole with our step bit, which is going to have to be the same size as this. So that step bit's, that's the hole. We're going to have to go all the way through right here. Here, you want to drill that? We'll go all the way through. Wow. All right, check that out. So here's the diameter of what you're going to be looking at. Now this should allow us, I'm going to have to oblong it just a little bit as it goes up, and we'll be able to stick that all the way through. So we'll go up here a little bit. Maybe go like right here so it's like, okay, we can always take more off. Always take more off. Let's mock it up. Let's see how it fits in here. No, we'll put this side in first. What am I doing? All right, we got to do, I think we need to come down here somewhere now. Maybe this thing needs to be like an oval. All right, let's check this out. Let's mock it up. Okay, I mean, that looks factory, don't it? All right. All right, I think we're almost there, or we could be there. I mean, that bolt hole pretty much lines up. I don't, unless, you know what? I don't know if there are any instructions on the banks, but they gave us the step drill bit like we had to do for the other ones, but like technically I really don't need this piece of plastic here at all. I mean, what do you guys think? Kind of like right here? I mean, I think we could just cut that right off, and then that will give us more room for the wire to come through, because we're going to have to trim this even more to have the wire. So I think we're going to reevaluate. Maybe we'll take this off and we'll cut this off right here. I think we're going to cut it. Banks gave us these little dikies. It's real soft. All right, let's see what this looks like now. All right, the pod. All right, well, I will confess I did not read any Banks instructions, but that was way better than having the hole that we just did. So I guess you could even went straight across. I didn't want to take off too much as to affect this corner. I didn't want to see any gap or anything, but that's pretty damn close. That looks pretty good. Nice job, Jay. Gale, team, I like it, I like it. So in order for that wire to come through, remember what I was telling you guys, we're gonna probably, could I take these little nippers and let's see if I could nip this away. Or you could use a Dremel or a little, one of those tools. I don't know what those are called. A multi-tool. I don't think a multi-tool would fit in here. Remember that cable's flat. So we could take some of that meat out. I wish, how could I open that up a little bit? There we go. Because all we need to do is get the head of the wiring cable through. Just kind of cutting away plastic. All right, what's that look like from the side? All right, let's see if we can shove that Banks connector through there. We're gonna go away from the cutters and maybe just step bit our way through a little bit. All right, hold on. I don't want to open this up anymore. Go. Oh, maybe that might fit. Let's see. Let's try putting that through. Can I fit it in? Will this one go? I think we need to go just... I am Batman. Can we get the other one through too? I am Batman. All right. Well, I guess I'm not going to take these back out. Might as well just leave these suckers right in here. Oh, I should have put it towards the windshield. Gosh, diggly dang it. Can I? Nope. Gonna have to pull them out. We were just doing a test fit and then decided that maybe we should leave them in. And I can't get past them. Come on, you SOB. It's one of those ones, once it goes one way, then you can't get it back out the other. All right, well, that one was a little longer. Can I? Still can't. Oh, there we go. Let's get the speaker hooked up first. Plug in the tweeter in. Don't forget to do that. Then you gotta take it back out. All right. Let's put the 4-pronger back in. 4-pronger. All right. Wires coming out. A-pillar trim piece going in. I'm going in. Make sure you don't hit the airbaggy. And you might have to pull this trim piece down just a smidge. There we go. All right. Need any more slack out of these wires, we'll just kind of put it in there nice and nimbly bimbly. We'll hook the gauge up first. That way we can pull this away and get some of that slack out of here. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, let me get the gauge. This is gonna be kind of tight. I think we're gonna need a little more slizzack. Maybe? Maybe not. Let's see. No, I think that might be good. All right, well, let's put this in because we verified that we got enough slack. So, bolt, new bolt that Banks gives us has a washer and an Allen, which that they provide. We're gonna go all the way through. I just heard it go into the first couple of threadies, and you're just gonna kind of do it like this. If you had a bit, I guess you could use the quarter drive bit too, but they give you pretty much everything you're gonna need. Gonna suck it right up to the trim. Look at that. That looks phenomenal. Gotta love the 3D print stuff. Where was that back in the day? All right, let's put tether back through like it freaking even matters. I did have to pop the trim piece off because I was an idiot. But your last bolt right up here, if it doesn't match up or line up, you have done something terribly wrong. So, note, what in the hell did I just do? Note to self. Make sure you know how to use the tools. All right, we'll give it its final snuggy wuggy. Okay, and then we're just gonna work in that trim. Now the gauge, the last thing, the part that we've all been waiting for the second time. All right, let's do the 6-pin and the 4-pin. Everybody, here it goes. Check it out. The Banks I-dash and pedal monster. Let me put this trim back so I don't hit my head when I'm going in. Let me make sure this is nice and level. Oh yeah, that looks freaking great. Damn it, that got me. I am a big fan of Banks products, ones that work and ones that actually make a difference in your truck. Not only the air filter, the pedal monster, the rear diff cover, they have a large assortment, not only for your Ford, but if you got a Duramax, if you have a Cummins, if you want to get any of this Banks stuff installed on your truck, if you're in Southeastern Michigan, come over here to our new shop. We got Power Stroke Truck Tech. Come see me, PTT in the D, to get some of this stuff put on. Or maybe you have a DEF problem, maybe you have an oil leak, maybe you have a fuel leak, maybe you need something fixed that you just don't want to go to the dealer. Come check us out. We'll get you dialed in and try to make it look as stock as possible. Key on. We're going to go through a couple things. Now, the I-dash, if you guys notice it didn't turn on, it is going to look for RPM signal. So right now, it is not going to turn on. So currently, let's go through and go down to Banks modules. We're going to go ahead and do the calibration, or make sure it is calibrated. It says it is complete, but we're going to go through it just so that you guys can see how to do it. It'll say incomplete if you're not. Do you want to proceed with calibration? Yes. It wants you to depress the gas pedal slowly. You can see the values change. You can go all the way to the floor. Now it wants us to release the gas pedal completely. Do it again, depress the gas pedal, and then release it completely, and then it is now successfully complete. Now, if you guys also see this speed-based trim, you can actually trim this out so that you have your pedal monster start increasing or manipulating your throttle sensitivity when it gets to a certain speed. Now, you can look at what speed levels these are actually active at, but if you're towing a trailer so you don't have that clunk clunk back and forth right after you take off from the light, you can trim that out. Now, here is our pedal monster sensitivity stuff. We have stock, not really going to be, we have stock, and then we have 10 levels of sensitivity that we can choose from. So 10 times 4 selections: stock, city, sport, and track. I ride around in my Super Duty with the 6.7 at city 8. And that is how I roll. So now, since this is Ecoboost, maybe we'll leave it so we can juice it up a little more. Maybe we'll go sport, and we'll leave it on. Maybe we'll go to 5, sport level 5. All right, all right, all right. Let's do gauge selection or gauge layout. Gauge layout, what do we want? Let's see, do we want 6 gauges? Then it's going to look like this. If we had 8, I have 8 looking. This is what you would be looking at. So let me back up here. It started getting really windy out. I'm going to go back to, here we go. Now, I think I want to, well, fuck it, let me just start it up. With the AC on. All right, now we have everything moving. All right, I don't know why we don't have fuel level not pulled up. Let's go down to gauge layout. Maybe he only wants 6, maybe 5. What's 5 look like? RPM, speed, ECT, load. Let's see if there's 8 things that's even worthy of him wanting to watch, because I don't know how much he's going to care about all of the stuff like I do. Oh, here's fuel level. It just checked in. Okay. So okay, RPM. Although we have RPM here, I like having the actual numeric value. Speed, we already have the speedometer right there, so we don't need another speed. So we're going to take the speed off. Let's go down to gauge select. Let's take speed off. Let's select, what do we want? Let's see if there's boost. An actual, ooh, is there a boost pressure? Can we? Is it going to give us an actual value? Ooh, let me put it down and drive. It didn't do nothing. Let me see. Let's see. No, okay, let's go to the other one. I don't know if it was going to actually give us a boost sensor actual, because the Ecoboost don't have that. Pressure, boost, PSI. Let me do this one now. See if that has anything. Okay, so right now we're in a vacuum. Okay, so this is probably what we want. Anything under 0 is a vacuum. Ooh, that's what we want. Anything above a vacuum is boost. Oh yeah, okay, let's see if we can get into some boost. We got any boost? I saw 0. Oh, I saw 1.3. Okay, so that's good. So that's what we want. I would definitely take that one. ECT, I don't have any ECT values, so I think I'd probably leave ECT. I could do that. Load, I don't think he's going to care about load. Let me get rid of load. Let's go down here. What else could we watch? Speed, temperature. We don't have trans temperature out. Let's see. Ambient, delta, EGR, engine coolant, intake air. I mean, I guess you could care about that. Intake air, manifold temp, manifold air temp, intake air temp. Let's see what intake air temp is. If it's going to read something. IAT, okay, 102. Battery, I would be curious to see what battery. Fuel level, I don't care about fuel level. Let's go and take fuel level out. Fuel level percent. Let's go down to group. Engine performance. Let's see what engine performance does. Horsepower ECU. Let's see that. I have that selected on mine. All right. That's kind of cool. Ambient air temp. I would want to know what the air is coming into my truck. This one here, what is that? Let's see what they're calling that is. I can't remember that acronym. What is this? AAP? AAP? I don't know what that is. Let's do fuel system. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Fuel tank. Let's do I have FRP? Oh, FRP. Let's see if FRP. Oh, no way. Okay, that is freaking dope. I like that. I would really dig that. One thing too, let's check this out. I want to make sure you guys know about this. Go down to settings and go down to other settings and calibrate your ambient light. Do you want to continue? There's actually a sensor right in the very top, right there above other, and that is the ambient light sensor. So when it is darker out or lighter out, you're going to get different lightning from your iDash. So it'll change with the lighting outside. Almost done. I don't know if you guys knew about that. I did have to set up the engine. Where was it? Ford 67, no, Ford Standard. Ford Standard. All right, let's do that. If that's going to make a difference or not. All right, we still have our same PIDs pulled up. All right, so last but not least, I like customization. Go down to settings, and you can do the theme colors. So if you want your background black, you want, let's see, the labels blue. What can we choose from? Blue, green, red, light blue. I think I had mine on dark blue. Actually, I think it was just blue. Let's go back to the top. Yeah, I think it was just blue, which is going to change all of that stuff. Pretty slick. I love the Bank stuff and a big fan of the Pedal Monster and the iDash. I'm going to take some of these tools out, and I think it might be time for it to go for a ride. All right, here we go. I like the inches of vacuum. I can dig it. Fuel level low. It just gave me a fuel level low warning. That was cool. So now we're in boost. 5 pounds of boost right there. Ooh, I like it a lot. FRP, ooh, fuel level. Well, that's kind of cool. My fuel levels, it's giving me the little icon up here, fuel level low. All right, this is Sport 8. Oh, shit. Damn. Hold on, let's go back out of here. We're not on the throttle. Let's go down to Banks modules. Let's go to Pedal Monster. Let's go to level. Let's go to 10. Don't tell him I went to 10. Okay. There we go. We're at a light. We got nobody behind us and just a beanbag in front of us. Wow. Definitely going from Sport 5 to Sport 10. Definitely tell a difference in the throttle. We'll leave it on Sport 10 for him. Be like, what the? So much fun. Such a difference. If you guys are running the Pedal Monster or the Banks iDash or any Banks product for that matter on your 6.7 or on your Ford vehicle, let me know what you guys are doing. Let me know what you guys selected and what your feedback is. It's something that I've installed a lot on people's vehicles. They work very well. It doesn't have to be a diesel. It doesn't have to be a gasoline. It's specifically a monitoring device, and it is as simple as installation as you saw here, just plugging in and drilling a couple of holes with some goofy friends of yours. So if you guys are interested, check out the description. I have the links below for the installation for the Super Duty, the F-150, and a pedal monster on the various kinds of vehicles. I appreciate you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, sub, share, and we're going to be pedal monstering our way into another Super Duty. I'll see you guys.